with the copper cooling system, the CCD treatment as well for doing reduction on the CCD itself. But this is the same as a Xtreme. Anyone that has an Xtreme with an EX chip in it, XView had a sensor, you're basically going to get the same thing, except the cooler here is a lot more aggressive as well. Unfortunately, upgrades are unavailable, and here's the reason why. To do the copper cooling system requires an entire machining inside of the front cover of the camera. And the way the CCD is mounted on the board as well, when we solder them on the board with the cold finger under and with pressurizers and all of that, it cannot be undone. It has to be done as you make the camera. Unfortunately, this is one of the drawbacks for upgrades. Okay, so we've got a little bit higher integration here, and we're at 8 seconds. I'm going to bump that up to 10 seconds without washing out the Eskimo Nebula. And we're going to adjust the brightness a little bit again here of the MCV-1. Oops, a little bit too high here. Okay, there we go. And what I'm going to do is disconnect the enhancer from the MCV-1. And watch what's going to happen to the screen here. It's overwashed. This is the way the MCV-1 is at the moment, and I would need to go into the video section here and lower the brightness with the software. So we'll put that back up here again, and I'm going to reconnect this enhancer, and now we've got complete adjustment on the potentiometer on it to go as dark as we want for a longer exposure. So the dynamic range is increased by about 60%, and it certainly makes a huge difference as far as the background's concerned, stars, and everything else is concerned. Okay, let me increase color saturation a little bit. We're going to go from 32 to about 37 to 38. Add a bit more color. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to increase integration a bit more. So we're going to go from 10 seconds and to 12 seconds. We'll go 2 to 3 seconds at a time and see what kind of result we're going to get live here. Okay, here's 12 seconds. So what we do is either we go under the video tab and lower the brightness, which I'm just about to do, or put back the brightness where it was and use the potentiometer on the MCV-1 enhanced model and lower it manually to where you want with the potentiometer. Now I've got a lot of sky glow coming in. As you can see, the right of the screen's a bit darker, the left is a bit brighter. I've got a little bit of vignetting here tonight. I tried to straighten out my field rotator and the focuser earlier on. I don't have it quite bang on. Upper right is fine for vignetting, so that means there is weight at the back, and that forces the camera to pull down a little bit from the optical tube, and the light tone of the 16-inch does not arise squarely on the CCD sensor. Not a big deal at the moment. I mean, it's just for demo purpose. What I'm going to do is increase the APC from 8 to 13 and see the difference in sharpness here. As you can see, we definitely do have a lot more detail seen in the Eskimo Nebula, and I'm going to lower the contrast a little bit more. I do want to see the background a bit as well, and that's not too bad for what it is. Well, this thing has a huge range. The dynamic range is increased by 60%. this can only be used on the computer on the S-video only, because the potentiometer on the MCV-Enhancer is affecting only the S-video and at the digital side of the MCV-1. This is not just an analog adjustment. The controller is on there. The potentiometer allows you to vary the voltage, so it is voltage controlled completely. So it's very stable, and it doesn't shift or change during the night as things warms up or as equipment warms up. So I'm going to bring down using the DVE here, the MCV-Enhancer. We could lower the background quite a lot. Excuse me. And we could also make it much brighter to whatever that suits us. So the longer the integration, the darker we'll be able to have our background and control the angle as well. On the monitor here, it certainly shows quite smooth for amplo, so I feel this is good so far. What I'm going to do now is lower the APC down to about 10 instead of 13, and see what kind of variance here we're going to get. This thing is completely variable, so there's no more three-step adjustment. This is completely adjustable. Here, allow me to shut it off. If I'm plugging it, this is without the DVE, and now this is with the new DVE onto the MCV-1, and it's fully adjustable. I went down too low here. There we go. It's fully adjustable with a potentiometer, so you basically dial in what you want. It's just like having a level function, just like in Photoshop, live, and this is done live. You could use any integration you want, as long integration you want. You're going to get that dark background and increasing the dynamic range by such a large factor. Very important. Okay, now what we're going to do is just going to shut off the APC here for a minute and see how things are going to be. The stars are adjustables, of course, and video always have interlines, so you will expect to have stars that are more or less bent out of shape a little bit. Here's the APC back at 10 for the pixels. We get a lot more resolution, and we're very limited for internet streaming here, by the way. We're uploading only at about 350 kilobytes per second. I mean, it's not quick enough. My internet is cable, Rogers cable system, and their downloads are quick, but their upload sucks. So you're not going to see the full resolution of what I'm seeing here. So any artifacts you're going to see is limited to the internet as well. Unfortunately, this is the way it goes. In the world of internet, nothing, and absolutely nothing is perfect on the internet. Now what we're going to do is swing the telescope up to M82. Again, I'm going to stop the integration. First of all, I'm going to unplug the enhancer, and we'll stop the integration completely, and put the gamma at 45. Allow me to go in the dome for a moment. We're going to swing the scope around, turn the dome, and we're going to go aim for M82. Some of you were on last night with the black and white camera that I was using with the same MCV-Enhancer. We're going to be doing the same test with the color